supported decision making is really a concept that we should all be keeping in mind, that people get and need help to make decisions. We all do that every day, and so we should be looking for ways to support people with developmental disabilities in whatever way they need as they're making decisions as well. Doctors play a huge role. Doctors and psychologists play a huge role in all of this.
You've got to always remember you're treating the person, you're not treating a diagnosis. And you may have multiple individuals with the same diagnosis, but you don't have multiple clones of the same individual. So oftentimes you set the tone for how those meetings go. So if you walk into an appointment, your correspondence and communication should always start with the patient. If the patient needs assistance, let the patient bring in and identify who they want assisting with sharing information and making decisions. But the conversations, well before the individual gets that 18th birthday, those conversations should be starting with the individual so that they are put at the center of the conversation and have the ability have the opportunity to advocate for themselves in that appointment.
They need to think about the person as a whole. And what I mean by that is words are important. And so yes, you're in charge of doing a diagnosis, but the way you frame it is so important, particularly at the beginning of this journey, when someone's getting a diagnosis. If you frame everything as like, well, they'll never be able to do this and they'll never be able to do that, that leaves so little room for growth. Our story is we were told that Zane would never be able to read, and they were wrong. And I'm grateful they were wrong, but I just felt I was fortunate. I had support, so I didn't give up, but I could have easily given up and not even try. When he was first tested, when he was 4, he scored very low on an IQ. Part of that was because his communication skills hadn't really developed yet. They were a little slow. Well, if your communication skills are slow, how are you gonna react to an IQ test that's based on communication? It could have been so devastating the way it was presented to us at the very beginning of our journey, and that can affect the whole trajectory. That can ruin someone's life, I think, if you present it as a never and a can't. You can say reading may be a challenge. You may have to work harder at it.
I think we could learn, and I think that medical professionals can learn, that we're more alike than we are different. The needs of a person with a disability are very often going to be the same needs for everyone else that you see in your practice. Just take the time to learn that person and what they need.
I would really encourage doctors and psychologists, everybody in the medical field, to start out by understanding what the options are. Because if all you know is guardianship or no support at all, then of course you would default to guardianship as we've done for a long time. But once you understand that there's this whole spectrum of supports that can be offered to people, and that it's not just based on one diagnosis or one set of circumstances, I think it helps people understand what they're truly evaluating.